I am going to fire myself for a day and let Claude do my job. You see, I'm a content marketer. I spend most of my day researching customers, positioning features, writing launch campaigns, and talking to sales. You can say that my job is to make complex processes and ideas a little bit more simple. And apparently, AI can do that now. So today, instead of fighting about it on LinkedIn, what I'm gonna do is test it out. By the end of the video, one of the two things will happen. Either Claude gets a promotion or I get to keep my job. Let's find out. But before we start, we need some ground rules because it's very easy to make AI sound impressive or to make it sound bad, and neither is useful to our mission today. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to give Claude the same information that I would have, same documentation, context, and expectation, and every task will get scored on these 5 things. Let's start with the obvious stuff first, things that AI should be relatively good at. My first challenge to Claude is a launch email sequence. We are launching a new feature called Ace AI pretty soon, and the work for that is in full swing right now. So we're gonna, have it write, let's say, an email sequence to our new and existing customers for that. I have my entire brief here. Everything it needs to know about the particular feature is written here, same as I would give any new content marketer who joins my team. I'm going to paste a prompt here and I am going to give it a Claude. Alright, let's see. It has given me a strategic summary. Alright, so getting campaigns live without redoing the work they've already done elsewhere. Okay, so this is not something how I would, write it. Looking down on the customer sort of always does not work out. It sort of downplays the impact that they have on the brand, and it sort of downplays how savvy they are as a customer in the market, especially marketers today. Even though this can be a pretty good feature to help them with paid ads, it's not that they are faking being a paid ad strategist. So that's a little weird. Alright, let's see the email. Objective: drive free trials, activations for Ace AI among existing 5-day users. Audience: these, timing, launch date, target relief. Alright. That's a little creepy. Honestly, it's kinda decent. That's pretty weird. Kinda vague. The structure is there. The flow is alright. But I think I'd write like 30 to 35%. So I think it's alright. It's a win. It sort of helps me get started, but it's not that solid. Anyway, let's move on to the next section. Now the second thing we're moving on to is a blog outline. I have a small prompt written here. I want it to give me a light outline on a Bofo blog of how our team at 5-day uses our marketing platform. So let's see what kind of a job it does in writing the outline. All right. This is again the most generic AI slop ever. Talk about a launch date slipping that nobody knew. Why does it always default to these examples? Okay. All right. Again, it's fast, it's organized, but it's not the most groundbreaking thing. If I were to write this, I would create a couple of mini GIFs or videos embedded, talk more about what our philosophy in our marketing team is, how that molds to how Fiverr.io works as a platform, and then highlight some features. This feels more like a feature list down rather than showcasing our workspace, but definitely faster than starting from a blank page, I would say. Now let's see how it does with some release notes. Alright, let's give it a prompt. Send it. All right. Yeah, that's a little creepy. That's not how it works at all. Okay. Quite repetitive. Same story. I think it's quite generic and repetitive. Not the best, despite giving it a lot of context and understanding. But the copy is clean and it's alright. What I have noticed is that throughout all three of this mini experiments of the easy stuff, all the copy is clean. It's alright, but it's also quite safe. It sounds like a software, but I don't think it sounds like our software. Still, I think round one is going much better than I expected. Claude isn't really replacing creativity at this point or, thinking, but I think it's definitely eliminating the blank page syndrome. So now let's give it some actually hard tasks that require a little bit of judgment and experience and understanding. The first thing I want to try with Claude is positioning the feature. So ACE is something that we have already positioned, but I want to see what kind of a job it does. So I've given it a little bit of a context and see what it comes up with. I don't want it to describe what the feature is. I want it to position it. Let's see. Okay. Andre. Yeah, see, there it is. So there's a little bit of a difference here. Claude is giving me options at every stage, and all of them are reasonable. Skip the blank page, start with a plan, the AI that already knows your campaign, from idea to project plan. These are not bad. All of them are reasonable, but I think none of them are actually memorable. Because positioning is not really just brainstorming. That's a part of it, but I think a bigger part of it is also choosing or prioritizing what works and with judgment, understanding what your product is, and preparing options like that. So I would say it's all right, but it's not quite there yet. Understanding them, prioritizing them for marketing. These are the notes that we typically get from sales. I've changed the names and I've changed the, basic identifier information so that we just get the crux of it and extract of it. And we'll see how Claude does in terms of, prioritizing and understanding different opinions, contradiction of feedbacks that sales and marketing constantly get, because finding themes and analyzing them is very, very important. All right. Mm-mm. Okay, so what I feel like is this is sort of a summary of their pain points. But I'm not sure if. All right. Okay, I think it's just saying what I want to hear at this point. And it's like a summarization of everything that the customer has said. Again, I think the summary is great, but prioritization is very weak here. It treats every single opinion like it deserves equal weightage, and it sort of feels like every person's problem is the same amount of intense. Not sure, it has not extracted any pointers for 5day.io, what conversation they had with the said lead. This is more like their problems. I don't think that's what the job as a marketer is for me. I think the main point lies after this summary in understanding which customers' problems are edge cases, which can be very helpful as features in the future, which require immediate attention right now. And knowing this difference, I think, is what my job stands for, rather than, extracting all these summaries and just putting them down on a piece of paper. So again, I think not the best work, but it's very helpful in terms of getting the summary down and then extracting results. But I think more often than not, what happens in this case also is that what AI thinks is important to put in a summary versus what I would think when I go through it is two very different things, because AI cannot catch the small human emotions of when I hear the voice of the person and understand if what they are saying and what they actually mean are slightly different things, or their expressions. AI cannot read into all of that, which becomes a very valuable part of me as a human, listening to another human being. So, not the best, but I don't think it's the worst in terms of summarization. It does make the work a little bit quicker. Let's see how it does when preparing a GTM strategy for the same ACE AI feature. I'm gonna send my prompt and see. GTM is a massive thinking task for marketers. Execution, yes, it is, but in terms of strategy and building the pathway to execution, it is a massive task, and it requires a lot of critical thinking, a lot of understanding the themes. And I think in terms of GTM, yes, what to say is very important, but I think there's one more part of it, which is when to say it at the exact right moment for your feature or for your product to, be launched in the market. So I'm very curious to see how AI does here, because it kind of requires a lot of critical thinking and understanding on your part as a marketer to get what your audience wants at what point of time and deliver it to them accordingly. All right, let's see the GTM strategy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Quite a genetic pinpoint. Okay. Correct. All right. Again, I'm not going into the nitty-gritty here of how it does. As we spoke, I think it is not the best at understanding a unique position for your feature or your product, because it sounds like all the generic tools out there, and it could be anyone. There are a lot of tools who are just saying that it's contextual and knows the context, but that can be any tool right now in the market who is understanding that problem and building on that. So that is quite generic. It has given us launch objectives and KPIs, which is good. What to track? 6-month launch roadmap. So what am I seeing here? It has also given us some prioritization. All right. And it has given me some budget allocation. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that it has sort of done a decent job at considering all the aspects of GTM with all the information that we gave to it. You have risks and mitigations, you have impact of what you would do and how it would reach you, but I'm not sure about the budgeting that it has done here, how much to spend on what. That is something I think it also depends on team to team, I would say. So does not worry me a lot. That is something I think you can go over with AI again. I think this is quite decent, but as I said, there's one more part to strategy, which is understanding when to put that in motion and when to put it in the market, to prep your market for it, to sort of understand how your internal team functions and plan the entire motion accordingly. So there is a very significant human aspect to when you're putting a GTM strategy in motion and want to execute the same, uh, which is a massive, massive thing to be able to execute this plan. AI tends not to be as realistic a lot of times, but I think this is quite decent and can definitely help you get a jump start on all your work if you keep feeding it a little bit more context, which is a very big problem with AI right now. I would not say problem, but like a gap in AI right now, that it requires for you to constantly give it instructions and constantly feed it things. It's like a very high energized intern who at the same time also knows a couple of things to get the work done, but you really need to be specific about what is in your mind and your head and explain it to it, which kind of gets exhausting after a point, especially when AI gets in that loop. All right, let's see the rating for this one now. But at this point, I'm actually thinking about something. I think I'm using Claude as if it's Google in 2008, because Claude is not a chatbot anymore. It has projects, skills, knowledge, connectors, and so much more. It has a history that it can grab from, context that it can sort of take and connect things. So I think it's time to run this experiment a little bit more formally. Let's see how it does when we give it a lot more context and a lot more understanding of our project. I'm curious. So as you see, I have loaded everything in the Claude project here. We have our positioning, our website, our brand voice, our brand identity. The document also has customer personas, competitor research, history of some of my past launches as well. So this is basically everything that I'd give a new product marketer or a marketer during onboarding. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the same launch email sequence again and see if it's any better now. So my launch email brief and chat is logged and loaded. I'm going to push send. Just one final instructor. Please pull from my project context here. See. All right. Okay. All right, so I see that it's following our directions in terms of our content guidelines. It's much more direct. It's much more, simple. It does not use a condescending tone. It does not take the audience's knowledge or their understanding for granted. I think it's immediately much sharper, much better. The positioning is slightly better. It's still not perfect, but I think it's noticeably more specific to how I want it for 5day.io, which is great. I think what this does is that instead of asking Claude to think from scratch every time, it gives it a memory. It stops feeling like just a chatbot that I have to give context every time, and it starts feeling more like a teammate to me. It gives me a lot more specificity in terms of my brand, so it stops feeling like just a software, and it feels like, oh yeah, this is written for 5day.io. The editing requires much less effort in terms of this. It's much more direct. It's much more, punchy. It sounds like my brand. Wow, I really like it. I think it still requires some tweaks, but all in all, it's quite great. Now, here's an interesting question. Seeing all of the tasks that we have given AI today, how much of it is actually thinking versus execution? Because if AI is actually good at execution, then that's a different conversation than replacing my role. This is where the conversation completely changes. Let's say your sales says the messaging is not landing, engineering says that the feature won't launch on time, or your founder changes priorities. Now what? There's no priorities for that, there's no framework for that, there's no prompts for that, it's just trade offs. Because marketing is not about finding the perfect sentence. Rather, you have to decide which imperfect decisions to make on the right time. Claude cannot walk into your meeting and build trust. Neither can it sense anyone's hesitation. These are the things that require a lot of experience and judgment. So, how did Claude actually do? Let's code it. So, can Claude replace a content marketer? Not really. But can it replace the time consuming repetitive work that we have? I think so. I think I started this experiment with the wrong question. I asked whether Claude could replace me, and it clearly cannot. But it did replace a surprising amount of tedious work that I have. Writing first draft, summarizing documents, organizing information. Those are things where marketers like me do not have any leverage. Our leverage is in what comes after that, in choosing, in prioritizing, in understanding where and when to say no. Our leverage is in creating clarity where there isn't any. The conclusion for me is that AI is definitely not going to replace me, because after seeing this video, I am not firing myself. But I think there's a more interesting question here about what marketers do with AI and if they will replace the ones who don't use AI. And as for me, I found myself a much better teammate.